Good
Good
morning. Good
morning.
morning.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Welcome everybody to the Dubby Energy Wrestle Talk, which will be known as now the Chef Jew Wrestling Talk. I'm here with my brother Shake Money. Shake, what's going on this morning, man?
Not much, man. Chef Jew's Catering Wrestling Talk, man. Gotta support the brother Chef Jew.
There you go.
That's the man right there. He
Absolutely, man. We got a lot to talk about today, brother. Definitely,
yeah, Chef Jew is that wrestler
definitely.
that worked from the ring crew. He started in the ring crew, then he started, you know what I'm saying? And then moved his way up, you know. So you gotta
That
respect
man
him.
can cook his ass off, y'all. If you know, yes,
Yeah.
definitely, and it's always love, and he's always a pleasant person and really cool brother. So definitely shout out to Chef Jew.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Also,
What's
I
up,
spit on
Tim?
the
What's
face
up,
of the people.
TC? It's my people brother. What's going on, man? Go ahead.
No, I spit on the face of the people who don't want to be cool. We'll be right back.
But yeah, shit.
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
What's up, everybody? So what's going on, Chef Jew? I mean, not Chef Jew. Dolphin Winters, what's going on?
Jesus Christ. I was about to say, I ain't know Chef Drew was in here. I'm looking at the I'm
Hey,
looking
he's
at the
behind
my
us.
computer. Yeah, I see. But all is
Yeah,
well, brother. Just trying to stay cool, man. It's the first day of summer officially, so that's just where we at with it.
yeah, summertime. It was summer like 2 months ago for us.
Oh yeah, it's summer. Like yeah, it's always summer early for y'all. Y'all get summer like in April, May.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
definitely. But
yeah.
yeah, man, we
We're
got
not
some
gonna.
things to talk about, man.
Yeah, we're not gonna get any. By the way, we're not gonna get any cool air till October. So
Yeah, and even in October, dude, it's hot down there. I've been down there in October.
yeah.
It's disgusting. It really is. It really is. But yeah, man, in the IWC, the International Wrestling community, it's a lot to talk about since the last time we were on. We've had the AEW Grand Slam Mexico in between that time. We had R Truth actually have another match against John Cena in between that time, and so forth. And sorrowfully, we got to start the show off with a major injury. Liv Morgan might be out for a couple months with a dislocated shoulder that she sustained within seconds in the beginning of her match this past Monday night on Monday Night Raw. Um, I watched it, and it seemed like to me in the segment before, in the beginning of the show, she had a segment with the World Women's Champion Io Sky,
Mhm.
and Io drop kicked her, and she drop kicked her. She took a bump. When she was outside the ring, you could see she was kind of favoring it a little bit, but it was nothing major. But when she went into her match with Kairi Sane, and Jake, when I say not even 10 seconds into the match, she went to go do the move. She went, Kyrie, like basically threw her up for her to sit there and take a face bump. So when she went up to take the face bump, she went up. When she came down to the mat to sit there and brace her fall, you
Mhm.
could sit there and see the agonizing pain when she landed on her forearm, and she just grabbed her arm and like she just literally grabbed her arm in her shoulder area and just rolled out the ring, and you could see something was wrong right away. So right now, as they don't know how much of a time frame she's going to be out for. But if I'm Liv Morgan and I know that SummerSlam is going to be in New Jersey this year, some way, shape, or form, sling or not, she's going to be there for SummerSlam. She might not have a physical role, but she's going to be there. But the downside of this is that her and her tag team partner might have to vacate the titles. So I don't
Yeah.
know what they're going to do about that. So yeah, it's
Mhm.
this thing wrestling that we watch is entertainment. These are men and women that do train day in and day out, and they do a lot of abuse to their bodies. And
Yeah.
after a while, the body does break down. So just unfortunate that she's going to be out for an injury for a while, and hopefully she makes a speedy recovery back definitely soon. But
Yeah. Christian is the one wrestler that comes to mind every time back in the '90s. Every time he was about to get the push, he would get a real life injury somehow,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he'd be put in the back burner.
It's unfortunate because we've probably seen a lot of talent that you really felt like damn, it could be the next big thing or the next big one,
Mhm.
and just unfortunate, just the durability. Because I mean, like
Yeah.
like I said, man, we watched wrestling, bro. We watched wrestling when those men and women were out on the road, 310 days a year, and might have got a day or two off during the year to go home to their families or take care of their business, and they're right back on the road. The business is different now, but still, they still, those men and women still have to be in shape to endure what they do. So,
Yeah.
it's just really unfortunate that, it's a part of it, it's a part of it, you never know. You never know. But other than that, we got Goldberg back.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but here's the funniest thing. That was rumored to be happening anyway. Uh, because they were saying he wanted one last match WWE felt like it was necessary to go head up with AEW's pay-per-view extravaganza weekend all in. They're going to go head up against them uh, on July 12th, which will be the same day All In will be on pay-per-view. But the thing is, All In will be coming on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which Saturday Night Main Event won't be coming on until later on that evening. So probably around the main event of maybe around the main event time of All In, that's when Saturday Night Main Event will be coming on. So I mean, it's good. I'm happy that Goldberg will have his final match. I don't see him going over Gunther. I don't see that happening at all. Stranger things have happened, but this is going to be his last match. Last thing I want to see, I think for me personally, last thing I want to see is a 50-something plus year old Goldberg be a very, very talented individual in Gunther. I mean, Goldberg has had his run. I was a Goldberg fan when he went on his run, and after a while, it just got stale. It really did. It really did. That's just for me. I don't take nothing away from that man. I actually met him. I met him outside the Wells Fargo Center in a rent-a-car. He was trying to drive off, and me and a few fans ran up to the car and got a chance to sit there and shake his hand. And I actually got a chance to snap a quick picture, which I gotta find in my book. I'm gonna start sending you some pictures and stuff so you can just pull them up. But yeah, man. Say again.
You're next.
Yes, you're next. So, but yeah, that's the plan with WWE going against AEW during that weekend because they're gonna be doing the Evolution 2 pay-per-view, Great American Bash, and I think Saturday Night Main Event that weekend going head up against AEW's thing. But they have a problem. WWE has a problem with Liv Morgan's injury because they have to rewrite the whole Evolution 2 script due to the fact that if rumor has it that the Bella Twins were going to come back and challenge Liv Morgan and Rodriguez for the women's tag team titles, but due to the fact that Liv is out, we don't know what direction they're going to go with that whole thing. They were going to start something up with them. So it's. I say this. I always tell people this. It's just fun. It's fun to see how all this is going to play out and plan out. I know it's stressful for Triple H, the writers and stuff like that. Same thing that would be for Tony Khan. Same thing would be for anybody that's a writer for any wrestling organization. When a wrestler goes out injured, you got to rewrite everything, and you got to decide, okay, well, what we're going to do now. Which they have a plan B, but they got to sit there and make sure it's going to work and make sense. So what's up, Anthony?
What's going on?
Hey,
by the way, real quick
Winners
before you go,
and-
Anthony, we have a Batman sighting. Shout out to Batman in the audience. What's going on,
What's
Batman?
up, Batman?
Hey, Winners, I have a question. Why is it? I've noticed this when it comes to booking a monster. It's easier to book him as a heel than it is a babyface. Why is that?
Who are we talking about?
No, in general, I've noticed that in wrestling that it's easier to book a monstrous heel than it is a monstrous babyface. Why is that?
Well, I mean, when you think about it, it's easier to market a big man as a heel because he's going to be dominant over everybody. You know what I mean? It's easy to market somebody that's 6 foot plus, 6'8", 6'6", 6'7". You know what I mean? Like the only major person that I knew that was a heel in the face, which it didn't matter if he wasn't. Not even that. No, I was going to say Elegante because he was like a freak of nature. I remember when Elegante came out of nowhere and he sat there and they
How about
brought him
Andre?
into the mix. Andre was a face and a heel. And that's the funniest part. Andre actually could, like I told people, Andre could actually move. When he was a younger guy, he actually could move. Like I watched matches with this guy. This man, he was literally.
He wrestled in Japan. That's what people forget.
Yes. And that's what I'm talking about. When him and Hogan wrestled each other in 1980, they wrestled over at All Japan Pro Wrestling. And that match, I'm like, holy smokes, this is not the same Andre the Giant from the WWF back then.
Yeah, no, but I thought there's two different. There's the underdog heel, underdog babyface, which a big guy won't make sense, but there's a underdog baby face that doesn't work for a big guy because of his stature. But
Mhm.
the baby face that you see like a Austin or someone like that be can that work for a big guy like a Strowman or an Undertaker? Those type of
I
baby faces.
wouldn't. This is my opinion on what you just said. I wouldn't say it wouldn't work. It's got to be how it's booked and how it's written. See, you got to understand. It's when we watch wrestling, they're telling us a story. I'm going to not to go off with your topic right now, and I want people and everybody that's watching right now or listening right now. I want people to really pay attention to what John Cena is doing right now. This right here is a beautiful masterpiece on what he's putting on. And people will be talking about this for years and years to come. When he did what he did last night, made him make you thought I was a John Cena fan before when he turned. Oh man, this dude did the unthinkable and dropped a own pipe bomb of himself. Like he did one last night right on a person that was famous for the pipe bomb. And it really comes down to Anthony. It really comes down to how it's written, how it's built up. Everybody's got to be on page, meaning that would have to be like, all right, just for example, you said big guy, you said like a Braun Strowman. Say Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman had problems with the bloodline back then. So think about it like this: you could have it written where Braun Strowman is getting attacked by I'm just saying this hypothetically now because we already know what the storylines are right now. But
Like Jacob
hypothetically,
Fatu or someone.
exactly. So it'd be Jacob, Solo, and just say
Tama
JC
and
Mateo.
Tonga Loa.
It's just all of them. They all coming after him. Then you're gonna sit there and have somebody side with him, or have some guys start siding with him, and that's where you get the face versus the heel situation. So it really depending on how the story is written and how the story is told and how the wrestlers want to go about it as well. Because they talk about it and they want to sit there and make sure that everybody's on the same page on how things should go down, heel side or face side. So that's what it really comes down to.
Yeah. And for how does this heel run for Cena have to play out to where you can put it at the same level as when Hogan joined the NWO?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is better.
And you're an
I
old school
lived
fan.
that. I'm an old school fan, and this is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I loved when Hogan turned heel. I loved when Hogan did the whole NWO. I actually remember bringing that pay per view when I was a teenager and watching that. I remember that whole thing, Anthony. And don't get me wrong. I was an NWO fan to a point where I didn't just know the NWO and WCW. I was following the NWO in New Japan when Chono and all those guys were doing the faction over there overseas in Japan as well. So you talking about a huge NWO game, but this right here, this is so
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
This is a side of Cena where we never seen this Cena. And Cena like, hey,
Even
what
the
you gonna do
rapper
to me?
heel Cena.
All right.
This is
So,
this is better. This is better.
hey,
I think this
hey,
is better. This is better than economics. This is way better than economics.
all right.
You know what I mean?
Let me give you. This is how let me give you my spin on this real quick.
Okay,
And speaking of Batman, I'm gonna bring it to Batman. Okay.
got you.
The Hulk Hogan turning is like the original Batman. It's more It's iconic, and it's first time you seen him in the black suit. And a lot of people, all the other Batman genres copied it afterwards. It's iconic, but however, Dark Knight is way better than the original Batman. But however, the original Batman will still and always be more iconic, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. No, that makes 100% sense, Jake. Exactly.
And winners for me
Uh-huh.
I grew up a Cena fan as a teenager. So
Got you.
for me, it's so hard to see him as a heel, even though they're
Right.
writing it correctly. In my head,
Right.
I still see him as that what is it called that like that Boy Scout archetype baby face, like a Superman kind of. Like I
But you
can't
know
get that out of my
that.
head,
But you know
even
what I
though they're
like
writing
about
it
that,
correctly.
Anthony. But you know what I like about that, Anthony? They're doing their job. you're supposed to feel that way. You got so invested. See, you like I said, I said this when we first started doing this podcast that I stopped watching WWF slash WWE right after they bought WCW and ECW, and I stopped up until the time where Triple H was taking over the reins, and then I came back because I just didn't like how Vince was doing shit. I just wasn't.
Even
You grew
Ruthless
up off of
Aggression, you didn't really
yeah.
like that.
I didn't. I was watching Ring of Honor tapes. I was watching New Japan tapes. And then I was just watching stuff like that. I wasn't watching any WWE stuff at all up until Bray Wyatt caught my attention, and that's what brought me back into it. And that's what brought me back to WWE personally. Bray Wyatt, that character, like that, just got my full undivided attention. I'm like, yo, I've seen this dude before, but I didn't know that he had this in him where he took you on an adventure, which is a shame where we'll never know how the story will end with Bray, even though that his brother's going to carry his legacy on.
Well,
His brother's going to take the story another way. You know what I mean?
Bray
But,
Bray actually said this in interviews recently. The guy who
mhm,
helped him develop that character was
mhm.
Waylon Mercy, the guy who played Waylon
Wow.
Mercy,
Okay.
and
Dude,
and because when you look at Waylon Mercy's character, he was that
uh,
cult leader type preacher type character like that.
right.
It wasn't the backwoods thing that swamp cult leader like you see
Yes.
with Bray, but you see influence of that cult leader preacher character that Waylon Mercy was in the 2000s. If you ever remember Waylon Mercy, winners.
Actually, you know what's funny is Ray Wyatt
Uh,
reminds me of I don't know if you ever seen the movie, the show, the sitcom The Lost, but he reminded me. There was a scene in The Lost where he meets like some of the locals, and he's like, "Hey, I'm not by myself," and a bunch of torches light up, whatever. That's what Ray
right.
reminds me of. That scene in Lost where they were introduced to the people that were on the island for the first time.
Who
Man of the
like
hour
in
was
terms of
going on.
movies, the character that Bray Wyatt reminds me
Was
kind of
good,
is
y'all.
the
Was
guy,
good.
Was
the
good.
movie with Jack Nicholas where he's on that boat like I forgot what the name of the movie was. Dang it. Do you know the one I'm talking about? Winners. I think I can't remember what it was called. He goes crazy and
The
they're like on
Shining.
huh?
Is it The Shining?
Yeah, The Shining.
Yeah,
Kind of like that, or like I said, the influences of like Jim Jones or the David Koresh. I see a lot of David Koresh in that character. If you remember who that is, a Waco guy.
I know exactly I know definitely who David Koresh is. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know exactly
that
who that is.
that's who I see in like that Bray Wyatt. You see that a little bit of that David Koresh type, like cult leader character and
But
stuff
speaking
like
of which,
that.
did you know that Waco was is an acronym?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's called What a Cookout.
Oh my God! What the fuck, yo?
Anyway,
What the fuck?
So this is why I'm saying with Braun Strowman specifically, I think he can work in like I'm not sure if he's just purely a product of WWE and he wouldn't be successful in like TNA or AEW, but I think he can work in New Japan because they know how to book foreign heels and stuff like that. A guy like
You-
Braun Strowman could work in
right.
Japanese wrestling because let's not forget Omos is over there right now working in All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh, he's back now. He's back. Here's the thing with that. So he is back. He's back in the States, and they gave him a contract extension, but they're not using him. And I think the reason why they gave him a contract extension so he wouldn't go anywhere else to wrestle anywhere else. But the thing about it is they got a lot of people, men and women in the back, that they have under contract that they're not using them. Same thing with AEW, Same thing with TNA. You got guys and females in the back that you sit there and just got them there, and it's like you're not using them. You know what I'm saying? You're not
Yeah,
using their
no,
show.
let's be honest. Like, people have to earn their way on television. Just because you have a contract doesn't mean they have to use you. Am I correct?
I don't think it's just that. I don't think it's just that. It's a limited amount of time for television. See, we as wrestling fans, we know we want to see us certain people that we enjoy, but it's only a certain amount of time. Now, for example, they're shortening SmackDowns back to 2 hours, starting I think July or August. That's going to cut a whole hour from the time that they had before. So that means it's going to be less opportunities for people to get on television. So that your favorite people that you normally get a chance to see on TV, you're not going to be able to get a chance to see them on TV.
But
Same thing with go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I think that shortening the hour, cutting the hour of SmackDown would help benefit the longer matches. Because, like, my goodness, why do we have to go to commercial 2 or 3 times in one match?
Yeah.
Well,
No, and
wait a minute.
now
Well, I
was
can answer
thinking of
that.
this. I think in
I
the
mean,
long run, I
the,
don't.
these TV matches are about as long as one you'll get on a pay-per-view nowadays. It's just
Uh,
that pay-per-views just don't have the commercials.
yeah. Well, when it comes to the shortening of the hour, I feel that WWE is planning already. Like, I think they might move. I know they just signed a contract with USA Network, but I think they have options to where they can cut out of the deal early and stuff like that. And I think that they can actually, I think they want to move SmackDown to Netflix to where they can actually have more freedom. Netflix is allowing WWE on Raw to do whatever they want. Basically, like, they can go a little bit more adult than they were able to do when they were on live television and stuff like that. Like, on
To a
streaming, I
point,
think.
though. It's to a point. Here's the thing with that. Not to cut you off. They have a contract with Netflix, and you're right. I think they did extend their contract with USA. But here's the thing. The thing is, and I'm gonna answer a man of the hours question right there. Since TKO has bought them, they have put advertisements every fucking where, even on the tables now. They have advertisements. So now it's like an advertisement frenzy. Like 5 minutes within the match, you watching the match. If you don't have Netflix and you got basically like the basic stream of either USA, you're going right to a commercial. You're not getting a chance to hear the commentary. Luckily, I got a website where I can watch the back stream of Raw. I can watch the back stream of SmackDown, and there's no commercials. But not everybody is that lucky. I don't want to go to an event and sit for an hour and a half, do a whole bunch of talking, maybe 2 hours, then commercials too. So you might be getting 45 minutes of wrestling, if that.
Yep.
They're becoming like the NFL when it's like, that's how the NFL is. Let's be honest.
Yep.
Pro wrestling and the NFL are in a sense like that. Like,
Yep.
if you actually pay attention to NFL and basketball, like, and the NBA, you're really just watching the actual game for like 30 minutes, and most of it is promotional information and timeouts for commercials. Let's be honest. That's how
You know what
sports.
fucked me up the other day, Anthony? It fucked me up to see the fucking advertisement for the fight between Canelo and Crawford, but I forgot that they have a deal with Turkey. They have a deal with the guy Turk, the Prince. And I forgot. I said, "Holy smokes!" I forgot that he's a part of that whole deal with Endeavor as well because he has the boxing. So it's a whole package deal. We're going to see UFC commercials. We're going to see boxing commercials. We're going to see Slim Jim commercials. We're going to see Snicker commercials. And it's going to be every 2 to 5 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised they start putting advertisements on the chairs too. It's coming. Like once you sit there and get into big corporate business like that, they are going to try to find a way to make their money back hand over fist. And the overpriced these tickets the way they are, something wrong with them. Because I would never pay $30,000 to sit in the front row seat for a wrestling
But winners, to me, I find it hypocritical that some old WWE fans complain about these ads and like the amount of like stuff that we have, like these not promotions, the stuff that we have on the ring, stuff
Right.
like that. But let's be honest, during the Attitude Era, they did the same thing, but it wasn't this bad. Let's be
It
honest.
wasn't this bad. I mean, listen, Vince had to get his money too. Listen, we all know where I would go. Everybody got to get their money. But damn, this is like oversaturated though. This is so oversaturated with advertisements and everything. It's
But
like,
that's
well,
what I'm
damn.
saying.
It's over.
It's hypocrisy though. They
Well,
complain about this.
but you know
to
what's
complain
funny
about
is it's like if you look at soccer, right?
Yes.
One thing about soccer, if you look at soccer, there's like Winter was saying, there's advertisement everywhere. As a matter of fact, there's like for instance, if you see on the sideline, you see Nike, and every 30 seconds it'll be Nike, Rolex, Polo. You know, they have like
Emirates.
5 different advertisements on one billboard rotating every 5 minutes, every few you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but at least in that case, they're not jumping the commercial for it every
well, they can't do
whatever.
commercials because soccer doesn't stop.
Exactly. So, but I'm just saying, when you wrestling in the middle of a match, bro, like
Yeah.
luckily for the people that's there, you don't have to see that.
That's what's good about having Raw on Netflix. You don't have to worry about all the. You see it on the ring and stuff and the tables, but there's not commercials on Netflix.
And you know what's funny? You know what's funny is like for instance, when there was commercials, right? There'll be times I've seen back in the day when the few times there was commercial. Let's say it was Sting versus Ric Flair for the TV for the U.S. title, whatever, and there was a commercial. They'll put it right back to where the action was. They wouldn't.
Yeah.
They would kind of rewind it, and so you won't miss a thing. So you know, if the commercial end where Ric Flair gave Sting a suplex, and they come back, they'll leave it right off of where when he gave him the suplex. You know what I'm saying? So
you know what I blame? Who I blame this on is freaking Logan Paul. To be honest, I think he has something
it's
in
the
his
Joker
contract.
Sting. What's going on, Joker Sting?
They have to promote his
Hold
what is
on
it called?
1 second.
His energy drink all the time during the thing, I don't
It's a
think
sports drink. Prime.
Yeah, I forget. Which, to be honest, I tried his energy drink.
It's like a nasty Gatorade.
He's been sued multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, I heard it's disgusting.
It tastes kind of like lemon juice to me.
I feel like you can't blame Logan Paul for it, because Logan Paul is a YouTuber and whatever and all that other stuff. But you blame the WWE. You hired him.
Yeah, no, Vince hired him before
I'm just saying,
Triple H took over.
No, I'm just saying the WWE. Period. Like whoever was in charge at the time, whoever hired him, and they knew that was going to.
He works for the WWE.
They knew that they were going to bring that he was bringing that to the table. But remember, let's think about this though. That wasn't out there from the beginning. That they knew they had a YouTuber and whatever, and I'm pretty sure they sat down at the table and brought all this stuff up to like, let's do this, let's do that. They could have denied it, but they didn't. So they just sat up there and ran with it. And we could sit up there and say Logan Paul. I mean, his prime drink is what started the whole advertisement thing all over the rings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but because WWE
WWE
always kept a clean mat. They never had anything on their mats, and then now all of a sudden,
apron, or even the apron. The apron just
even the apron. It was always just their stuff. WWE.com, real big, and whatever.
Wait till it's on their uniforms or whatever outfits.
Yeah. So now it's just
like soccer.
So now it's just like, it's a big advertising thing and whatever to promote.
I think these wrestlers are going to do NIL deals eventually. The NXT guys are going to get NIL deals. Like,
I thought they already have it. I thought they already have some NIL deals.
No, NIL is net. Their version of NIL is more for athletes to come into who haven't wrestled. It's called Next in Line.
They got a what's the name? They got a program right now called the WWE ID. They're actually having people, athletes that are coming in from colleges. So they've been doing that for a
No,
little
Right,
bit
that's what I'm
now.
saying. Because
WWID is
that's
independent
what
wrestling.
that's what I'm saying. Because that's where you look at a lot of those people on NXT, like Obafemi. Like he right after college football, he jumped right into that.
Right.
What's the Carmelo Hayes girlfriend? The black girl,
Talking about
Kalani Jordan.
Jada
Ka-
Parker.
no, Kalani Jordan. I think that's her name.
Mhm.
Yeah,
She
Kalani.
look at her. She was a gymnast, and
No,
when she finished that, she went on to doing
NIL
this.
is the college athletes. WWEID is for independent
Yeah,
wrestling, like
she's pretty fine.
for wrestlers. It's basically they have partnerships with independent companies that they scout young talent from the beginning that they can feel that they can just sign from these companies.
But what I'm
So
saying is to you, Anthony, they do have a program where they do get. I mean, we just had Gable Stevenson just not that long ago, where he was in college and he actually
Mm-hmm.
wanted to wrestle for the WWE, and it got him from college. So that's what I'm saying. They do have wrestlers,
Yeah.
plural, they're getting from the college level. It might not be the NIL, but they do have a version of it. It might not be the WWEID, but they do have their own version where they go to the Performance Center in OVW, which is the underleague, that is the independent league of WWE. So that's what I'm saying to you. They've been doing this. They've been doing it for the
wait,
last
OVW
right,
is still in
years.
underly. OVW is still used as a feeder system to
Yes,
WWE.
yes. OVW and Booker T and Booker T's for
Reality
Federation
of Wrestling.
also. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So yeah, you do have that. You still have that.
Do you
That's not
think
a problem.
WWE eventually is going to start opening up territory, like building a territory system where they can open up smaller promotions for their wrestlers on NXT so they can get more TV experience for the
Well, that's
performance
what
center guys?
NXT. That's what they're doing the show for. That's what they did the show for. That the show that
LFC.
they just started. Yeah, I love to. Yeah, that's what they're doing the show for. I mean, myself personally, I understand. Probably all of us up here understand how professional wrestling works. I just think personally they're pulling too much behind the curtain. I think they put too much in front of the camera. I mean, I really believe that. It just takes too much away from the imagination.
But I can
You know.
understand why they're doing it. Dolphin winners, they want to
Hmm.
uh they want these guys to build fan bases early on, so when they get to the main rosters, they don't have to have like a
That takes
grace
the fun
period
out of
to
it. To me personally,
ingratiate
But
themselves to the
that takes
fans.
the fun out of
I,
it.
I,
That takes the fun out of it.
I think the problem is why everything is so up on the camera is because everything gets exposed anyway. So they want to sit up there and they want to be the one exposing it themselves instead of everybody has a phone these
Social
days
media hurt
and
pro
whatever.
wrestling, to be
So yeah,
honest.
social media is the issue because when you hear people that say they work with Beyonce or dance for Beyonce or whatever, you can't even bring your phone in the facility where you about to work at. Like
Nope.
there's no phones for anybody, like from top of the line people to the bottom people. Like there's nobody allowed to have a phone in there because they don't want nobody exposing nothing.
This is an honest question for all. Most of you guys are old school wrestling fans on the
Uh,
panel. I just started watching most of the videotape, like highlights on YouTube recently, but a guy like Andre or a guy like Stan Hansen and a guy like The Undertaker, how can you build the mystique of those type of characters with social media? Because The Undertaker, I think The Undertaker, the reason why he lasted so long is because he adjusted to how to promote himself and keep that the character.
well, he changed. Remember, he changed into the badass Undertaker.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
And you
and
know,
then back to
He had
oh,
different versions of the Undertaker, which was able
real quick.
to keep going. Now, maybe had he left promotions,
Hey,
then he would have had to be something else, totally
all right,
different.
hold on, guys. Coming to the ring now. Uh, from Sarasota, Florida, weighing at 255 pounds, 1.5 of the mega powers, Macho Man Crypto.
Oh shit!
Macho Man Crypto Savage.
What's
Crypto
going
weighs
on, guys?
Crypto weighs 255.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's up, Crypto?
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
I thought he was skinnier.
Oh yeah. Ooh yeah.
No, but what I'm saying, man of the hour, is though that the Undertaker said on his
Well,
podcast
what the fuck? Where was my intro? God damn!
Don't worry.
That's some fucked up shit right there.
No, Lance. No,
Hey,
Lance.
hey, Lance, come in as a wrestler. I don't
Fuck
even
all
get an
you.
intro. What the hell are you talking about? This is my show. I don't even get an intro. What are you talking about?
Does Winters have an intro?
No, nobody.
When we start the show, shit.
That's
but
the
Andrew,
intro.
but man of the hour, what I was saying, back to what I was saying, Undertaker said on his podcast recently, he actually had to adjust how he was able to keep himself like his character, like with that mystique that he had when he first debuted it and stuff like that. He said he himself doesn't go on social media or travel take these pictures with the wrestlers and stuff like that. He separated himself most of the time
because he's old school and he's in character almost all the time. Like,
All the day, like even when he goes out for food, at home. I
get
that
it.
was him.
I understand that, and that's just him because he's from the old school way. But like I said, today's world, with everything being exposed and everybody being able to record everything, and
how Bray Wyatt was able to do that, did he learn that from the Undertaker, or because his father grew up in the business, he was taught how to do that?
Your father and your uncle, come on, man.
I would say both. Like he learned both.
Barry Windham is your uncle, and your father was with IRS. What the fuck?
Yo, by the way, speaking of Undertaker, I just want to bring this up. Did you know that Undertaker did not do any interviews at all until after he got retired?
Agreed. That's fact. He didn't, because he protected the business. And that's where a lot of the old school guys would like to protect. Like, I like you got Kevin Nash on the podcast now. I like that Undertaker decided to do a podcast. I like the fact that Austin and I like even the ones, like we can go down the line. Like a lot of these old school guys now are talking and they got a platform to talk on. I don't agree with everything that they say, but it's
Open is a perfect example of that.
I love Busted Open.
Yeah, Bubba and Tommy Dreamer pull back the curtain and tell you how people booked matches back then and stuff like that, and then they apply it to how they would want to book certain storylines. The perfect example of this, R-Truth thing, him and Dave LaGreca were talking about who is the best person to that's where what I was saying earlier, that Dave LaGreca and Bully think R-Truth is the perfect person because of the storyline that they're building to dethrone Cena. Do you guys agree with that?
I see that. I'm gonna be honest with you, 150 fucking percent. My boy that's listening to us right now at work. We talk about it at work all the time. And I clearly said this a couple weeks ago. I got a funny feeling that R-Truth will be the one to dethrone John Cena. I don't know why I feel that way, but it just looks that way. You think about the two matches that just happened. They both ended in disqualifications. There's a reason why they're doing that. It's just a real reason. He is going to get that title sooner or later. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hey, he deserves it though.
Oh, dude, come on, man!
Yeah.
Like,
whole time in WWE.
He was long overdue for it.
Long overdue.
And you know
long overdue.
We all, what's gonna happen if that happens, right?
Right. What's the name? He said Rock's gonna cash in and beat him and take the title
Nah,
from him.
not even. I'm not even going there with that. Nah, Brock Lesnar gonna show up out of nowhere.
No. Brock Lesnar still has not been cleared from them damn charges yet. He still ain't been cleared from them charges.
Because look, you know that
I don't think Triple H wants to work with Brock. No.
Every time they put a black wrestler as a champion, they always give Brock Lesnar, go out there and just squash him.
Oh man, that was
did he do that
reason.
Did they do that with Big
Kofi? He did that with Kofi. He did that with Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, sure did.
5 seconds.
Easy. I'm like, bro, come on,
by the way,
man.
speaking of which, now that we got wrestling, we've been doing wrestling. We get sources and stuff like that, and hold on, God damn it, never mind. Go ahead, continue.
Nah, Brock Lesnar's not coming back. He already said that.
No,
he said that quite.
No, and Triple H.
I mean, people say
want to work
things.
with Brock anymore.
That's all it is. People say.
Well,
things.
but it doesn't matter because Brock already said he doesn't want to be involved with wrestling. Period.
Okay,
he has his own life.
Okay, people say things. That's all I'm saying. I mean, CM Punk said he will never come back to the WWE.
He'll probably go back to UFC.
What's the real reason?
You know the real reason he's still fighting this case. This case with this Vince McMahon shit. The boy Leonidas just turned on Vince and said he would side with the chick. So now Brock don't want nothing to do with it, but his name is still involved with this case going on with Vince McMahon. That's why he's not
involved in any of that. I think it's
yeah.
And also, too,
I mean, my thing is this:
mistaken,
we don't know what's gonna happen in the next few months. Like we're talking about right now, we're in June of 2025. John Cena's most likely gonna hold that title until December, if they let it go that long. So you never know what can happen then. We never, we don't know. Like you still got the Royal Rumble next year. You still got all these different things that can he can possibly just pop out of nowhere and come out of there, and we'll sit up there and get the story about it later. Like
long as it ain't
like CM Punk.
Long as it's not us.
And if I'm not
long as it's not
mistaken,
CM Punk.
I think he has a daughter that's supposed to be
Aaron Rodgers.
If I'm not mistaken.
Man, we ain't worried about no Goldberg, man. That's a
we don't want no Goldberg, bro.
I know. I don't get it.
That's a wasted match.
I just don't get it,
bro. He walked to the ring limping.
Exactly.
The dude was limping already, and all he did was come out to his music.
Right. If you love wrestling that much, man, he pulled in the background.
He pulled a hamstring. He pulled a hamstring doing the kick at the end.
Yeah, he pulled a hamstring doing that little kick shit he be doing. Golly, man, you talking about you gonna get in a match with Gunther, man? Gunther should whoop his ass, bro.
And I hope so. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope he beat his ass in front of his family. Give him a couple. Wait.
That shit gonna end in disqualification just so nobody looks bad.
Give him a couple. No. This is what's gonna happen. They're gonna let Goldberg get a couple good spots. They're gonna hype up the fucking crowd, and then Gunther gonna beat the dog shit out of him in front of his son. It's gonna be someone shape or form. His son might get involved with the match. Like I'm telling because his son trying to be a professional wrestler too. So he's gonna be signed because Mark Henry's son just signed not that long ago with the WWE too.
But Dolphin Winter, how about this? Maybe he's doing that to probably kind of promote his son a little bit.
Absolutely,
that's what you want to do. You want to promote your son.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier about the people with the college deal, because this man is playing football at Colorado, so when his time is up from over there, he may not go pro.
Hey, by the way, real quick, all right, I finally got what I want. Before I do, I want to give a shout out to TD Fence Talk. I had no idea that he was Coco Beware back in the day.
Stop! I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna fuck you up.
I had no idea.
Yep.
Damn. You ain't shit. Jake, you ain't shit, Jake. You ain't shit.
I had no idea.
I didn't even realize that till now.
Yo, I'm gonna fuck you up for that one, yo.
His new name is Coco now.
Oh, yo, Yo, you gonna make me not look? Yo, I'm never gonna look at TG the same ever.
Yeah, I know.
Fucked up.
Hey,
Hey,
put that up again.
every time he comes up, Coco's there.
Yeah, that's good.
Damn.
Yo.
But last but not least, we got sources here now, and we got a sneak preview to SummerSlam. And which damn, I can't remember. SummerSlam of 20, 30, 50. Hopefully, the Dolphins will win a playoff game by then.
20, 30, 50. How's that possible?
Yeah, no,
I was going 20, 30.
2050. We got the
Okay.
the main event for 2050. I'm sorry, for 2050 SummerSlam. Here it is.
I'm gonna fuck you up. Oh, what the fuck? Yo, stop. Stop it, bro.
Get your tickets now.
Oh my goodness.
Brock
SummerSlam
Lesnar's
2050.
son is joining wrestling, right?
What'd you say, Joe?
Who?
Brock Lesnar's son is joining wrestling, right?
No,
Yeah.
it's his daughter, ain't it? I thought it was his
No,
daughter.
his daughter doesn't want anything to do with wrestling.
No, his daughter don't.
do that.
His daughter gonna mess around and go to the Olympics probably in 28 and probably
Yeah.
dominate in the Olympics. She's
Oh, hell
a
yeah.
monster, bro.
Yeah, she is.
She's a female version of him.
Yeah.
Hey, and
Winter,
it's in LA.
literally.
You gotta go nowhere.
That
It's
girl
in
gonna
LA.
be single for the rest of her life.
Who's gonna fuck with her, bro? I'm not fucking. What? Who's your dad, Brock Lesnar? No, I'm good.
Well, it's
No,
not
she's
even
gonna
just
get.
that.
She's gonna have a girlfriend.
I mean, every
Yeah,
time
you
you
guys-
look at her,
Yeah.
all you see is Brock Lesnar.
That's true. That is true. Winters, I do have
Yeah.
a question to propose to you in regards to a storyline.
Okay.
So we saw Paul Heyman and Seth freaking Rollins, right? And that faction start to form, right? There's rumors that there's going to be a fourth person added soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've all been kind of sitting here expecting, and I know I'm probably going to get some pushback on this, but we've been expecting what's his name to finally make a heel turn. God, what is his name? Now I can't believe I can't think of his name right now.
Jimmy Uso?
No, they don't expect a heel turn from him.
Sami Zayn.
I think it's Sammy.
No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go even further than that. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. They've been no. Let me tell you why. And I'll tell you why it makes sense. Cody Rhodes they've been leaking out like within the wrestling sports talk world and stuff. They keep saying, "Hey, what do you guys think of this?" And it's a Cody Rhodes heel, right? And who else in this that we've talked that knows Cody Rhodes inside and out and had a relationship with his father, right? None other than Cody Rhodes' dad and Paul Heyman.
Exactly.
So
I don't see Cody Rhodes taking a back seat to Seth Rollins.
Right.
Nobody said they're taking back seats. I'm telling you they're taking over. That's what I'm telling you. Because think about it. The whole idea of having a unified champion used to piss Seth freaking Rollins off. So what if it's Seth Rollins with one belt and Cody Rhodes with the other?
Why not? And let's not forget, Cody Rhodes was a heel when he was with that group with
the Bullet Club.
The Bullet Club, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sir.
And he was also one with what was it, the Genius or some shit like that.
Oh my God, what was his name?
In fact,
Yeah,
he was with whatchamacallit's son. What's that guy's name, son? Is it $1 million? No, is it $1 million man, son? No.
Because here's the thing. Now that his story #story is over with, right? The whole point of trying to get the belt to something his father never was able to obtain at WrestleMania, right?
Right.
He said it in an interview that once you have the story done, you got to change it to a new story, change the script altogether, right?
Right.
And how do you do that? Heel turn.
Yeah,
So here's the
John.
thing with that. I'll be honest with you. I actually like that. I do. I like that a lot. The only
Hmm.
problem with that is when you're one of the top three sellers and you're one of the major faces and you got a lot of heels. I mean, literally, let's think about it right now. We got a shitload of heels right now in the WWE. So you got to have somebody who's going to be a good guy and take an ass whooping here and there. And that's what Cody is there for as well. And you know he's trying to get the belt back as well. That I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that whole storyline. But
Hmm.
I see Ricky Saints or Ethan Page coming up from NXT being that fourth guy, along with Bronson Reed and along with what's his name, Braun Breaker, with Seth
That's
Rollins.
true. That's true. But can I kind of propose a different thought? It's a little bit different than that, right?
Okay,
My
okay.
my thoughts are the fact that we previous to Seth freaking Rollins and Paul Heyman getting put together, and even before OTC came back and everything, right? Even before that,
Mhm.
the problem that Cody Rhodes was having as being the champion, there was really no worthy heel that he could really fight. So they kind of had to manufacture heels in a sense, right? Um, and that being said, now you have a diabolical heel in what The Rock and John Cena has done. You have a diabolical heel with Seth freaking Rollins and Paul Heyman in that faction. Because I'm not gonna lie, I honestly thought the big dog was gonna be a babyface for a bit before he went heel, and that kind of threw me off. It really did.
Right,
Um,
right.
See, I still think
but
it's going to be Logan.
oh yeah, that too. But here's the other flip side of it. Logan Paul is he's not even a diabolical heel. He's just everyone hates him. He can never go
Right.
babyface, to be honest. Everybody just hates him, right?
Right.
And then
He plays it
you
well.
look at you have Cody Rhodes go heel, right? Who does
Right,
that pave the room for to win the championship finally? Right? Let's think
right,
about it. LA Knight can finally win the championship because I think he's very well deserved, right?
right,
You got AJ Styles who can still be the veteran babyface. You still
right.
got Sami Zayn. You already got Jimmy Uso, right? And
Mhm.
then some of those other younger talent that you're talking about at NXT and whatever can come up and be the new generation babyface, right?
Oh,
Right.
So I see what you're saying, but I kind of think that they could go either way with it, to be honest.
They need it
And
like
it's,
I think they're getting a woman next.
that would be dope.
That
That would
would be
really be
kind of that would be different.
that would
It
be
would
dope.
be. Who would they
That would be
get though?
dope
Who
because
has a relationship with Paul Heyman?
Becky.
Becky
Dude,
Becky.
that
Lynch
makes
does.
sense. That completely makes sense.
talking about Becky Lynch, Dolphin Winter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why not? Why
Why?
not? Why
Because
not? Like
been a heel
she's
before.
holding the Intercontinental Champion right now, and in some way, shape, or form, Steph gets the title, and you just see her just go down to the ring. I mean, they're real life husband and wife, and they're heel at the same time.
Yep.
What couldn't fit any better than that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I think I heard somewhere where they didn't want to work together, so they kind of did it together as faces.
Right,
They wasn't in a faction, but they did work together as faces when they both were champion at the same time.
right, right.
And I think I heard, I think it was from Becky where she didn't want to do that. So I
Okay.
mean,
I
if
think I think it'd be cool.
if she changes her mind, then whatever. But I
See,
think
here's the
Becky
thing with
could
that.
hold.
A lot of not to cut nobody off. A lot of them will say that shit in interviews, and then we'll be having egg on our fucking faces,
That's what I
sitting there
said
watching
about
like,
Brock
didn't that
Lesnar.
mother?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Brock Lesnar joins,
No,
See,
but
Brock
I
that's
don't
Lesnar
why.
see
not
it.
going to join.
But
Brock
No,
will
but
be
see,
Lord
on.
that's
have
why I
mercy.
said that's
Brock
why I
will be
agree
on
with
his
Amanda
own.
out. Don't count Brock Lesnar out because I'm with
Exactly.
you with that man. I don't think he may say he's not coming back, but I think he may. I think he may come back.
Hey,
I
if the
really
I
do.
money's
don't
right,
expect him. I don't expect him to
How old
join
is
Paul
he?
Heyman's group, though.
No,
No,
I
no,
No,
that's
personally
true.
he'll
think,
come back as his own. He'll come
He
back
gonna
as his
come back
yeah,
as
own.
Brock
he
Lesnar
might
as his
be.
own person.
We've been talking about who's going to save wrestling from John Cena and taking that belt. Don't count Brock Lesnar. He could be the one that comes in and surprises everybody and walks away with the belt away from John Cena. Very possible.
I think.
And real quick,
look,
quick before you guys go, now that you guys we have a big panel here, I want to ask y'all this question before I forget, because I know I'll forget. Now the ones who know, which do you think, which heel turn did you prefer? The Hogan heel turn or the Cena heel turn? Real quick.
I was gonna say Hogan.
Go ahead, man of the hour.
I mean, they both were kind of unexpected.
I'm gonna be go ahead. You go first. You go first.
I would say I think Hogan.
So I'm going Hogan, but I'm going to tell you why. Hogan's heel turn and how he backed up the heel turn and the whole bravado and everything that he brought was epic. I'm not going to lie. Seeing John Cena turn heel, that was epic in the moment. But the very next show with him on it, I'm sorry, but who it was very lame. It was boring. He was like a crybaby. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like what we saw afterwards. In the moment, it was awesome, but they completely bombed it the very next episode, a couple episodes with him.
People were crying. Okay.
In fact, no. But hear me out. Hear me out, though. What we saw this past, what was it? SmackDown last night.
Yes.
That's epic. The best of John Cena we have seen since the heel turn.
Dude, that was beautiful.
That was
was awesome.
Right.
That was beautiful. I was like, wow. I was like, this is the fuck. You dropping a pop bomb. You dropping a pipe bomb on the man that dropped a pipe bomb. Like, that was beautiful.
And it was beautiful. And they should have done that months ago, is what my point is.
And Cena mentioned AEW names on TV.
Oh, man. He said he breaking the fourth wall. Sorry. Yeah. I started cracking the fuck up. I was like, holy shit. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. He said he wants to ruin wrestling. He said it on an interview after he won the belt at WrestleMania that he said, I'm going to ruin wrestling. He said, I'm going to ruin professional wrestling. And I'm like, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. I said, they just letting him be him. I'm just going to be me. What are you going to say to me? I got a 25-year career. I am the all-time greatest of all time now in professional wrestling. I have an I don't give a fuck attitude. And you only got about, 15 more dates for me? He's doing, that's what I said, what he is doing is a fucking masterpiece. I like the fact, Ali, that you're saying you didn't like it. You think it's lame. I like the fact we got people on the panel that's saying that it's okay, but I love it because guess what? The man is doing his fucking job. As us as fans, we're supposed to react to the way we're reacting at this moment in time. I'm fucking loving it. That's why I said this is a masterpiece that he is putting on. That's why I was happy as shit when he turned with the Rock and them. I loved it. I was like, this is beautiful.
And Shake, to answer your question, I go with the Hulk Hogan turn heel also because that's the reason why you see my avatar.
Okay.
Because when Hulk Hogan turned, look at what happened to Sting. He went from the regular Sting, the Cole Sting to the Joker Sting.
Mm-hmm. So because see what happens is the thing I'm getting is Hulk Hogan's turn had a bigger ripple effect.
It took off. Like
it opened the door to let you know that the ultimate good guy can also play the other side.
Then it was the NWO Red and NWO Black and White.
Well,
it was.
I mean, it turned. It was huge.
Let's say this: a lot of people. Wait! Don't forget about the LWO. You're the Latino World Order.
Yeah, I was a Wolfpack guy.
The Blue World Order too.
the Blue World. But here's the thing with that:
first the black and white, and then the red and black, the Wolfpack, and then later on you got the Latino World Order.
All right, I'm gonna give you a little inside information on that since I'm an ECW born and raised Philadelphian here. When they did the Blue World Order, It was all gimmicky. Everybody was laughing about it, whatever. Stevie Richards said this straight up in an interview. He said Kevin Nash seen him, and he was not happy because you got to get the rights to use that shit. He never talked to him about getting the rights of using the whole New World Order thing, making it to the Blue World Order. He never talked to them. Him, the Blue Meanie, they never talked to Kevin Nash or Scott Hall or none of them about using that. So when he seen him, he had some words for him. He definitely had some words for him because he's like, that shit wasn't cool. All you had to do was ask, my man. And he said 9 times out of 10, I would have said, yeah, it's cool. But you just went on about it and did it yourself. And he was about to whip his ass over it. Like, that's a true story.
Who was going to whoop Kevin's ass?
Kevin Nash was gonna whoop Stevie Richards' ass in real life because they took that Blue World Order without they used it without asking the permission from Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and them.
Right.
It's like somewhat of infringement. Like, bro, like all you gotta do is ask. That's it. I mean,
That's just
I'm gonna tell you,
that's just respect thing.
yeah, exactly. Like, okay, let's think about this. A lot of people made a lot of money during that NWO phase. A lot of people. A lot. You know what I mean? So everybody got paid. Even Muda. Everybody forgets Muda was a part of the NWO. He was a part of the NWO Japan with Chono and those guys.
Even
was Raven a part of NWO? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But the problem was it was a gift and a curse. Everybody was in the NWO and you only had a handful of good guys. And Sting was one of the only handful of people. But then he joined at one time.
Right.
People forget that.
Can't beat him. Join him.
You know, it was a good storyline and it had a great run.
I mean, like I still remember when the NWO came out and Rey Mysterio Jr. jumped on top of Kevin Nash, and Kevin Nash just picked him up and threw him like he was a rag doll. Just threw him straight into the fucking.
Yeah, right on the back of the truck.
Yeah,
people.
Right.
You know what's so funny that you brought it up because people fail to realize how they used to abuse the shit out of Rey Mysterio.
Oh,
back
Rey
in the
Mysterio
day.
took a pounding, man.
Oh my!
Hey, listen.
God.
I think the worst one was when Big Show hit him on the banged him against the ring on the stretcher, and he freaking hit his head.
Oh my God! I remember that.
He couldn't use his arms to brace himself. His arms was
no.
down.
Yep, he took that shit straight dead on. I'm like, holy shit, bro. I'm like, God.
And then he took like 2 power bombs from someone. Some big, I forgot who it was. It might have been Kevin Nash, but
yeah, I was about to say I wouldn't. It was probably the hair versus mask match where he took his mask off, and then that's when he joined up with Conan after that, and they had their little faction and all that. But then he got then in Mexico it's frowned upon when you have a mask versus anything match and you lose your mask and then try to put your mask back on.
Yeah.
So they was not happy with him. They were not happy with him at all. But all is forgiven.
I heard mask back on. He had to ask permission to put.
Yeah,
his mask
I heard he asked for permission to get his mask put back.
But that happened on AEW not long ago where who was that took that mask.
MJF.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. I was like, I knew that's why.
I'm waiting for that one girl from the Next to come over to WWE. The buff one,
man.
The real buff one that's going for the title right now.
Jordan Grace.
I think so. She's like really short, but fucking.
Yeah. Jordan Grace. Yeah. She's a monster, bro. I wouldn't want no problems with her, boy.
Hey, that would be a good. That would be good to come in with Paul Heyman.
That lady really works out hard. Man, she is.
Especially where she came from.
She's kind of on the masculine side, though.
But where she came from, because she was like thick fat before.
Right.
Yeah. I remember, and people don't remember her when she was thick. Well, her is like her and then Jamie Hayter. People don't remember Jamie Hayter when Jamie Hayter was wrestling over in Stardom, killing it in Stardom. And then when she came to AEW Dark, she was a chunky chick. Jamie Hayter she's a problem. The problem is Tony Khan and his fucking writing. How do you have a talent like that and you're writing horribly for her? Is bad. Now Jordan Grace, on the other hand, Jordan Grace could definitely fit in the WWE system, but I'm happy that they're allowing her to go through NXT first. Because I mean, shit, it's not like she can't wrestle. She's been a champion in TNA. She's been champions in other companies and stuff. So it's not like she's not a champion. Just bringing her up right away. But I think let her make a nice little run, especially with they just debuted what's the name over there? Mariah May. Now, yeah, Mariah May. Now her name is what is her name now?
Brooks. What is Brooke? No,
Brooke Monroe.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I thought there was a Catherine in it.
So the why they biting off the whole Bewitched thing?
I was about to say, my God, yo, I thought I was the only one. That was the first thing I thought of too when I seen it. I seen the whole show. I'm like, this is definitely Bewitched.
Yep. And so your first time in that ring, you get your ass whooped too. And so about that faction too, what is it? The woman who's the champion, JC Jane, whatever they call themselves now.
Oh,
Them three. So she was the last one standing, huh? Because they got rid of Mandy.
Right.
And then Gigi just got released, well, earlier this month.
Right.
And so she's the last one standing. And then they put the title on her too. Like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was glad to see fucking Asuka come back, man.
Me too.
Yeah. Hey man, Asuka.
Did she get hurt?
Dog walked. What's her name?
Mm-hmm.
Alexa Bliss last night.
Yeah, dude. She's gonna take that title back. I tell you that.
Yeah, she's gonna be wrestling like that. Put it back on her.
Asuka, man, she came a long way. She just got back from knee injury. I think it took her 18 months to recover. So yeah, it's great to see her.
What she do with the ligaments and stuff?
She was on a roll.
Like,
she was
18 months.
it.
Damn.
Yeah, and no more damage control. That shit done.
Yeah.
They said they ain't gonna bring that back because they got rid of Dakota Kai.
Is she hurt too, or is she also?
No, she's no longer in WWE.
She's gone. Dakota Kai was gone.
Okay. And sources saying that she's going to be heading to AEW as soon as everything, whatever, she's going to probably be heading over there.
Okay.
So trust me, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of this. A lot of the released people from WWE and AEW, they're going to be just swapping places. One name in particular is Britt Baker, and Britt Baker contract is not up until next year. So they just don't have nothing. Tony don't got nothing for her.
I just saw pictures of her. She was at somebody's wedding.
Now, you talking about, now, when you say Britt Baker, you talking about the lady calls herself the dentist, like she's a dentist.
Yeah.
She's a real life dentist.
That's right. That's what's her name, wife, ain't it?
No, they don't mess with each other, bro. They've been broken up.
What? They ain't know that.
They've been broke up, bro.
Adam Cole, yeah, they broke up.
Yeah, he got away from her ass. He moved and everything. He's like, I'm gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Greed.
Yup.
And isn't it funny that the way wrestling is, because we've seen Adam Cole supposedly have his hatred towards Tony Schiavone because of the relationship he has with Britt Baker.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you sit next to Tony Schiavone on Collision and do commentating.
All's good in the hood now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit. He knew the reason why. He knew the reason why. Yo, I don't be around her. That was done. He's like, oh, we good. Shoot.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. I can never get tired of watching wrestling. I can never get tired of watching
I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't watch it. If I'm either watching wrestling news, shout out to Ango, shout out to WrestleMania, shout out to Cultureholic. That's a few of the sites that I watch. And shout out to all the content creators that are putting out professional wrestling info and the wrestlers that actually giving us podcasts. To sit there and watch them and hear stories from ex-professional wrestlers or current professional wrestlers. I try to watch as much as possible because I'm still learning like everybody else. Even though I have the knowledge that I have, I'm still learning.
it. And
Mm.
and the good thing about it, Dolphin Winners, it fills in between the football season and what. That's the thing it does for me. It fills in. That's why I'm
Definitely
glad that you and Shake are doing this. And kudos out to you and Shake, man, for doing this.
appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. That's definitely.
Appreciate y'all.
I talked to my brother right there. I said, bro, I think we should do this joint all the way through. And he said, hey, I
Yeah.
agree. So I said, let's go.
Yeah, I told him, man. If you got the content, I got the platform.
Hmm.
And shout out to El
Absolutely.
Capitan for giving us the platform. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Shout out
Yeah,
to Al Capitan.
I appreciate
Shout
Cap,
out,
man.
Cap.
Yeah.
Although he never shows up.
Well, not everybody's into
He's
wrestling. I
busy,
mean, you
man. He's a busy
yeah,
guy.
yeah, that. Plus, with me, I mean, wrestling goes all the way back to as soon as I was walking and talking, I was sitting there watching wrestling on TV.
Right.
But with you, Dolphin Wins, you had the opportunity to be a wrestler. You were a wrestler. Plus, you went to a lot of wrestling matches. I only went to one in my lifetime,
Me
so I
too,
spent
bro.
most of my
I only
time
been to
watching.
one.
I remember
Yeah.
doing like surplexes off of the diving board with people. That shit was painful, man. You landed on your back.
Mm.
Yeah. At least mine was, it was WrestleMania. So if I'm gonna go to one, let it be the biggest one of the year. It was not that good, but hey.
And then I remember that some a friend of mine fucking did a power drive on me in the grass. That was fucked up.
Well, the wrestling match I went to was at a flea market, and the guy who was there was I think his name was it Glycerer. Is a big black guy with
I
like a
remember
mohawk.
that name.
Yeah, Visitor. Rest in
Right.
peace to him.
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, he passed not long ago. But that's who I seen that at that wrestling match at the flea market. Him and when I say this, I'm not speaking against the Haitian. It was a Haitian guy with a mustache. We were talking about him maybe a few weeks back. What's because he yelled he sometimes he yell like a lady. Has a mustache.
Norman Smiley.
Norman Smiley, right? That's the other person I got to see at that flea market. Him and Glycerin.
That dude, I want y'all to do some homework on Norman Smiley. Norman Smiley was wrestling Pancreas over in Japan and doing professional wrestling in the Florida area. He definitely had us. I think I'm correct. He still has in wrestling school to this day. I'm not sure about that, but he's definitely a problem. Like if you get a chance to look up his stuff, just look up Norman Smiley in Japan,
Mm.
and definitely you'd be like,
Norman
holy
Smiley
smokes.
is Warren Moon.
Hmm.
You know what? That's hey, they do look similar to each other.
They
They
do
do.
look similar.
Yeah, it's a similar look.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Kind of like Mr. Coco there.
Oh my goodness.
You're
But look
never
at this.
gonna hear the end of that.
Look at this. Akeem Grant looks like Kevin Hart.
You sure to a point.
Kind of not.
Yeah. Good old wrestling.
But yeah, we got We got about.
What y'all thought about the AEW show? I mean, I think they're just a little too sloppy with their.
Hey, when is SummerSlam?
August.
August, right? Okay.
Hosted by Cardi B. Oh my god.
Yeah, listen. I'll catch it on the replay. I'm not really like. I'm not like really like excited because like I've been telling everybody these 2 night things is like a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? Because my whole thing is you can either have it in one night and be in a pay per view like myself watching wrestling for 6 hours at an arena, or you can split it up like that and then have overpriced tickets like you do in WWE. So it's like a gift and a curse.
Right.
Because to me, I think somebody started talking about AEW and how things are getting sloppy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you, and this is just my observation watching professional wrestling. When you watch different organizations and companies of professional wrestling, you got to tune all the shit out that you watched before and concentrate on that style or the way they do things. I do the same thing with New Japan. I do the same thing with AEW. I do the same thing with WWE. If I watch anything else, I'm going into it with an open mind. I'm trying my hardest, not trying to compare or what I watched or what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Like when I watch Collision tonight, I gotta sit there and knock out what I watched last night in SmackDown. Because I'll say this, I say the last 15 minutes of SmackDown was probably the best 15 minutes at the end of SmackDown in probably about a year for me. Like that was excellent. That's how you end the show. Like that's how you end the show. I'm like, wow. Like that's gonna make me watch next week, or that's gonna make me watch Monday.
Right.
But now I gotta condition myself to watch Collision. I gotta see how they're gonna play the storyline out. If they feed it off of what Swerve and what happened at the end of the Swerve match with Ospreay and how Ospreay made something happen where Swerve was the one that got counted 1, 2, 3 in that multi-man tag match that they had at the end of Dynamite. So it's going to be interesting. You know, you got to kind of like it's like a switch you got to flick off. Like to me, that's just me. I got to
Well,
flick that switch where I'm on AEW or I'm on WWE or whatever. I got to just flick that switch. That's just me.
you know, they needed to do something with the John Cena thing because I think it was getting boring. But that shit with CM Punk, that lit a fire under everybody again. They're like, "Oh, I want to see this."
Mm-hmm.
Is it me? Is it me, gentlemen? Or like I said, a lot of people don't like things to be cooked in the oven. Everybody wants a lot of things microwave. And what people got to understand, we come from the era where we watched storylines that lasted for fucking years.
Yep.
Think about that for a second. We're talking like Flair and Steamboat went on for years. Hogan and Andre went on for years. What's the name? Brutus Beefcake. You had Brutus Beefcake. You had Brutus Beefcake and Jake the Snake. That went on for a while. Like you had rivalries that went on for a while. A lot of people got things right now.
Remember the Black
Oh
Scorpion?
my god, dude! I was so upset when I found out that shit was Flair, bro. That whole time it was Flair. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man?
It was supposed to be Ole Anderson originally. But Ole had I think a health issue happened, so they swapped it and made it Flair.
Okay.
But Ole Anderson was the beginning of the Black Scorpion. He was all the early stuff. But when it came to reveal, it was Flair.
The dirtiest player of the game.
Because
who was Dusty Rhodes' partner with the Assassins when they had the masks?
Oh, you talking about dirty Dick Slater? Is it Dick?
Was it Dick Slater?
Was it Dick Slater or Dick Murdoch?
Dick Murdoch.
I think it was Murdoch. I think it was Murdoch.
I think it might have been Murdoch.
It was Murdoch.
It might have been Murdoch.
Yeah, I think it was Murdoch. Pretty sure.
Yeah, it was Murdoch. I didn't mean to say Slater. I meant to say Murdoch. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
The assassin. I remember that. What were they called? It wasn't the Assassins. The Assassins had a white mask.
Oh my goodness, what were they called?
What was What are you saying? The uniforms they wore?
No,
No.
what did they call themselves?
Dick Murdoch and Dusty Rhodes used to be a tag team.
Assassins. I don't.
They had the black masks on because they got kicked out for something. So they came back with the black masks.
Let me see if I can look that up real quick.
I don't recall.
No, I remember that because
they wanted to get back at Kevin Sullivan.
It was like almost in between being a heel and being a crowd favorite.
Right. Because they were going after Kevin Sullivan and then Purple Haze.
Yeah, well, man, that was a nasty combination.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I think like one of my favorite rivalries, I guess, would be the Von Erichs and the Hayes brothers. Freebird.
Oh, the Freebirds.
The Freebirds.
The good old days. That was the good old days.
Did LOD and at least in WCW, Road Warriors and Steiners ever have a rivalry?
Yes, they fought each other. They wrestled each other in WCW.
Yeah,
they wrestled each other then.
Scott Steiner for the blonde hair.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you something. Some early WCW days, we got Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Bam Bam Terry Gordy versus the Steiner brothers. We got the Road Warriors versus the Steiner brothers. We got Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Dr. Death, Steve Williams versus the. We got like this is when they used to wrestle in Japan too. So they were not only the WCW tag team champions, they were the IWGP tag team champions at the same time too. So they were taking over. Like what was lovely about them is every single one of those guys, they either held not only the American tag team titles, but they were holding the Japanese titles. Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Dr. Death Steve Williams won the All Japan tag team titles on numerous occasions. Also, just like the Road Warriors held the All Japan and the New Japan tag team titles at one point as well. So, and that was at the height. Like the Steiner brothers were the young bucks. They were the young bucks out of that crew because they were just coming in, but they were just a force to be reckoned with, just like those guys. So yeah, like them dudes was different. Them dudes, and at that time, whew, and I'm gonna tell you something. That was strong style. They was going at each other. It was a no holds barred. Like Hawk wasn't selling all that.
Lance.
I think the match was Animal.
They'll call the Texas Outlaws.
Yep. There you go.
Texas Outlaws.
Yep. I remember the match between George the Animal Steel and fucking Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh my god!
That shit was so fucking bloody. Like you couldn't see the bottom. Like the whole mat was red from their blood.
What was his? What was it? His patented move was the arm bar, or cross-face chicken wing, or something like that.
The chicken wing thing, yeah.
Yeah. Basically what it was. Yeah, that little arm thing. George Steele, man.
Then Abdullah the Butcher had care of Spike.
Yep. He had that Spike all the time. Fucking. I remember him fucking Kevin Sullivan up with that thing.
Kevin Sullivan carried the Spike too.
Yeah.
Him and the purple haze.
Did the purple haze? I don't remember Purple Haze having it. I remember Kevin.
No, he had it too.
Okay. Damn.
But yeah, we got AEW later on tonight with Collision. We got the pay-per-view 21 days away or 20 days away, something like that, for All In, and that's going to be like a week extravaganza down there. They're going to have Dynamite, Collision, Death Before Dishonor, Ring of Honor, which I'm not going to lie, I'm still a little upset on how he's carrying Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is not as good as it could be. There's a lot of history with Ring of Honor, but he's just running it the way he wants to run it. He thinks bringing a women's pure title or another title into the picture is going to make it better, which you do have women in that organization that are pure wrestlers, like your Serena Deeb, your what's her name? What's her name? I'm looking. I see her name. Desariel. What's her name? I forgot what her first name is, but I just watched her wrestle the other day. Um, you got a whole bunch of females in there that can actually get down, and they're technical. So that's fun to watch. But it just seems like it's like a developmental league for AEW, and it's not good because, like I said, it's a lot of history. I went to a Ring of Honor pay-per-view last year in Trenton, and it was good. It was entertaining, but my whole thing is you gotta do a little bit better, Tony. Like for me, and I think still he is his worst enemy with certain things with with not TNA, with AEW and Ring of Honor. I think he still should hand over the reins of writing some of the other people and have some other people write some of these storylines than him, but it's still entertaining. It's still entertaining. It's still a competitor. It's still something different to watch than what we're watching on Mondays and Fridays with WWE. And like I said, you're gonna have people that like AEW, and then you're gonna have people that don't like AEW. And I'm not gonna lie, AEW has a style of grittiness, which you're not gonna like a lot of the stuff. I don't like a lot of the stuff that goes on at AEW, but it makes sense because it gives them their sense of identity in the same sense.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
The thing is,
Because
I
you
don't
know
like
what
about
everybody be saying.
the thing is that I don't like about AEW is like I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago where the changing of heel and face with some people,
Right.
like it just happens. Like where is the story that caused you to do that? Like
Yeah, it's
Tony
like a quick.
Storm just being the ultimate heel woman, and then I get it, the fans was loving that character she has, and like out of nowhere, like you just turn her just like that. And the same thing with what's his name, Cowboy Hangman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Like
well,
you're the
but
ultimate bad guy. You burning Swerve's house down and doing all that crazy shit, and then now all of a sudden they turning you over to the other way, like, and it's like I feel like you got to get jumped by the elite or something. You know what I'm saying? Something like that has to happen for you to.
So you want something leading up to it?
Yeah.
oh, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. So here's the thing. You said that he lit Swerve's house on fire, but Swerve and Nana went to his house. Remember when he was at the match way before that, and he went
Right.
to his house and his baby and all that. So I get what you're saying, but is it just the fact of just the way the story is being told you don't like? Because I mean, like I said, and this is where I go back to my point where I flip the switch where I get away from the way they do storylines over there in Sanford, Connecticut, and I got to go sit there and see how he does things in Jacksonville, Florida, and spreads it over to the world. And that's where I said I got to hit that switch. See, that's where, as us as fans, you got to sometimes differentiate the different styles of AEW wrestling and WWE wrestling. See, WWE is known for storytelling. They're known for it. They have their system. It's their system. AEW has somewhat of that, but that's where, and I'm not making no excuses for AEW because I like it. AEW has their way of sitting there telling storylines because a lot of people don't like how AEW does things where they just put a wrestler in front of their face and they're like, well, who is this person? Well, if you are a professional wrestling fan and not just an AEW fan, then you might know this person. But whether the way WWE does things, they're going to let you know, oh, well, this person does da 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 da. You get what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
understand where
yeah.
you're coming from, where
I mean,
you're
I
like,
like the
well,
product.
first he's a face and then he's a heel. Here's the thing: there's a thin line. There's a real thin line in professional wrestling now, where we get this face and heel thing. You got a lot of glorified heels. You got a lot of what's the name? A lot of evil faces too. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
depends on how the storyline is written.
No, I get all that, and I like the show as well. I mean, I watch it every week and stuff like that. It's not like I don't like I'm dissing it, like
Hmm.
throwing it under the bus or whatever. I like the show.
Right,
It's just that some of the stuff to me it doesn't make sense when you watching it. Like I'm like, well, how did that happen? Like you got people who they are, and you know why. you
right.
know and it's
Well,
just some people you just don't like why all of a sudden what happened, like you don't have to do like WWE with this long ass storytelling and whatever. It could happen.
Right.
Like John Moxley could turn face next week.
Right.
You know what I'm
well,
saying? And the
right.
only thing that I could see, the only thing that I see that happening is all the other members of this group just turn on him, and then okay, boom, I see why.
Right.
But when you got some other people like like you mentioned Swerve doing whatever he did to Hangman, and Hangman doing it basically back and
Right.
whatever. Now all of a sudden y'all just not best of friends, but y'all okay with each other.
Because
And
of what happened. Because of what happened with the Young Bucks and Heyman outside the locker room. When he sat there and
right.
said, "Look, man," he said, stay out of Osprey business, stay out of my business, and even stay out of Swerve's business."
Right.
Nobody expected
And
that,
they're gonna
but
put them
you knew.
and we all know they're gonna be all linked up together just to try to take Moxley and them down.
The only way you're going to be
Well,
able to take Moxley and the fucking Duck Riders down if you unite. You know they're going to start that bullshit where I'll never do this, I'll never do this. But I got a funny feeling the person that is putting the shit together is going to be the one that's going to fuck everything up. And I got a funny feeling
Osprey.
Osprey's going to fuck everything up, yo.
Osprey's gonna turn. Yeah.
Yeah, I just, you can just see it.
Yep.
I could just see it. I'm just like, why do I? They're gonna pull the rug from underneath our feet where we think we're gonna get Hangman as the champion, and the shit's gonna be over, and it's gonna be a new day. Because that's what it's looking like. You got to get it up in Texas. You got the Hangman Cowboy Adam Page in Texas to win the title, and then guess what happens? Some way, shape, or form, somebody gonna pull the rug underneath our
Hmm.
feet.
Hmm. And that's why I said when I think it was Ali who was talking earlier, and who he think was going to join Heyman and them. That's why I said I think it's going to be Sammy, because Sammy's sitting up here. He said it. He's the only one that basically hasn't had that title. When
Hmm.
everybody's saying all these nice good things about Sammy, that one day is going to be you, but not today, and all this other stuff. And then you
Right,
lose the match, and then you lose to
right,
Randy Orton. So now you're out of the tournament for this King of the
right.
Ring thing and whatever.
that's a
So
good
that
time to
I'm thinking like, oh,
turn heel.
how many? And then look at what he said. It was Jay Uso. It was me. I wasn't even part of WrestleMania, and I came to Vegas
Mm.
anyway just to be that first
Hmm.
one to come congratulate you and
Right.
whatever. That's what I'm saying. Like they throwing all these things in your face, and all of a sudden, I won't be surprised if Sammy just whether he joins that faction or not, but he's going to turn heel.
Mhm.
I mean, I like Gunther, but what you know, taking the title away from Jay, I think that was fucking. I mean, he only had it for so many days.
Yep,
It's
So
a
like,
here's
couple
the
of
thing
months.
with that.
and I think they did the same thing to Jimmy too, if I remember right.
It took it a couple
Uh,
of months.
Yeah,
They
like I think.
because
I think.
Rikishi
Oh
came
man,
out
he went off.
with he went off. He
I
went that
saw
motherfucker went off.
I saw
Yes,
something
he
where they
did.
mentioned I saw something where they mentioned other wrestlers talking about, oh, when this person lost, you didn't see their father doing this, and when this wrestler lost, you didn't see their father whatever. All of a sudden, every time someone out of this family takes an L or loses a title, Rakishi is the vocal one.
You know he's gonna ride out for his boys. That's his sons. You know he's gonna ride out for his sons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? He's gonna ride. That's what he's gonna do regardless. Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, he was not happy at all.
And
He
I
was
think they need
not
to do
happy.
more. They need to do more with
I was watching it on the phone, on the YouTube, and I was scared watching it.
So what do you think? Like, okay, now we see Jacob is getting the face turn
Right.
and whatever. So we see that, and and we also seen Jimmy come and help him last night.
Right.
Well,
So what do
really,
you think that's gonna be like? Like, are they, because like y'all was
see,
just at each other like 6 months ago.
Right.
but this is the thing too, though, because really, Rikishi was talking about the family blood. But if you really think about it, how long did Roman Reigns held the title?
3
Too
years.
fucking long.
Over 3
Too
years.
fucking long.
Right. Okay. How many titles did they
You
have?
think it was too long, Wenders?
Too fucking long, bro.
They held almost all the titles. So to me, I get what Rikishi's saying, but at the same time, you can't say it's anything else because they held their fucking titles, all of them, for quite a while.
I feel like you could have at least let Jay.
I was
ride
mad
out
about
to.
that.
You could have let him go out to SummerSlam at least.
Yeah. I agree.
feel like you could have lost it there. And
he only had it for what, 30 days or something?
I think because
51 days.
It was a couple months.
51.
51.
So,
Yeah.
Because
That
the
ain't
title
shit.
is on. Isn't the title on the line against Goldberg?
I hope not.
What?
I really hope not.
I think it is.
The Gunther.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
So what if that's
Goldberg
the thing
going after that belt?
That go to show you that's another ass kissing thing right there, because Goldberg probably wouldn't have done it if the title's not on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, he's not. Let's be honest.
I still think Gunther goes over. I think Goldberg gets a few good spots. They're gonna give him a few good spots, make him look good, and then Gunther gonna walk the shit out of him.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I loved Goldberg back when he first came out and all that. I mean, the guy was a fucking stud.
He's just an old man right now.
It's
exactly.
But I would never tell that to his face.
Oh no.
Hell no.
I wouldn't even say it if he was on the same screen. They'd be like, I know what you look like. Hey, I got a twin brother.
I said it earlier. When Goldberg came out, he looked like he was limping, and he also looks like he's not. He's in good shape, but he doesn't look like he's working out like he used to.
Right. I don't think he can.
He doesn't look like the. So that's why I think Garner's gonna.
My thing is, I think they like. Yeah, my thing is, I think like like Goldberg. Really, you bring up a situation talking about that you need basically some get back, because
how old is his son?
I don't know.
Probably early
19 to 20, something like that. Yeah.
So my thing is this.
My storyline.
Yeah, my thing is this. Like, you had to wait all the way till now to come after Gunther. Like, when Gunther, like, what were you doing all this time? And now all of a sudden Gunther wins the title back, and now you want to try to get your get back at him for talking shit to you.
He went back he went back on the treadmill.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. He had to get in shape. He wasn't in shape. He wasn't in shape. When he was in Atlanta, when Gunther came at him, he wasn't in shape then. He wasn't. He wasn't ready to go then.
But you still could have did TV appearances and
but
talk your
you
shit
know
or whatever.
He's a WWE Hall of Famer. He feels that he has nothing else to prove. He's like, fuck you. I want a title shot. That would be my last match. Because even when Vince was running it, he wanted to have one last match. And I guess Vince couldn't find no room for him. Because I'm going to be honest with you. That fucking debacle, when you said that debacle where he went against Undertaker overseas, that was
terrible.
Horrible. Oh my God!
And what are the chances we don't get that again?
I hope not. I really hope
I hope
not.
not
I'm not
either.
watching that, bro.
I mean, hell, even Kane and Undertaker last match against DX was terrible.
Yeah. Mm.
No, so
Well, look, I mean, even the match with the last match Stone Cold had,
yeah,
that was fucking horrible.
Oh, against Kevin Owens.
When he,
yeah.
well, was it? Yeah, Kevin Owens, but he went to go fucking get
Well,
Vince McMahon, and
but they
they
came,
totally screwed
you know,
the pooch.
that was they knew they had
That,
to have that one last stunner,
right,
even though it was
right.
terrible. It was a terrible stunner.
That was fucking. I could have done better, and I fucking never
That
done
was a
it.
terrible stunner. Vince's, and we all knew it was going to happen because, like, you wasn't going to have Stone Cold have a match basically at WrestleMania and not get involved with what we grew up watching, basically, with the history of those two dudes.
Yeah,
and whatever.
and that's
they
when
had to.
People say
they had to give us one more time of that.
Yeah, well, yeah, like some people still say, "Oh, I want Stone Cold to come back." I was like, he's not in that shape. He's not.
Everybody, yeah, he's not.
He's not there. And he found a new love, a new competition that he really loves. So he's more into that now, and he goes, he has a newfounding love for a different sport, which is the Baja or something like that.
Stone Cold is a little arthritic also.
He's what?
He's what?
Arthritic.
Oh, like autism or something?
Arthritic.
He's talking about his neck. His spine is like bone
maybe.
Bone.
Right.
Yeah, like I think he knows it. He did his time, and and he's too old to be doing that kind of shit.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. We just, Lance, it's so funny that you brought this up because that's actually how we started the show off. Talking about, the injury to Liv Morgan when she wrestled against Kairi Sane and she got hurt within like the first 10 seconds of the match because when she came down, she went to take the face bump, and when she came down with her hands, like her shit just went and
separated her shoulder.
So it happens, man. I mean, these women take a beating. They do.
Yeah, I mean, they I mean, it is what it is. You get old. That's when you'll find out when you fucking jump off the back end of the truck at fucking 40. You're gonna regret. You're gonna regret it.
and not that. all that traveling that they're doing, that takes a lot of time also. All that traveling from state to state, from country to country.
Them long periods of sitting down.
But what's funny is, even Kevin Nash said Stone Cold was a rare thing because, by the time Austin got the spotlight, he already had like 80,000 miles on him.
Yeah, he's not lying. He's absolutely right. You gotta think he went through Stunning Steve Austin when he was in WCW, and then he was with the Hollywood Blondes with Brian Pillman. He had his U.S. title run in WCW. Then he got hurt.
That was his worst.
Then he
actually he wrestled he actually wrestled really well. He was actually way more agile.
Well, but
yeah. He was very agile. Then he came back to ECW, and that's when Paul Heyman gave him the job. And that would be honest with you guys, that was truly the birth of him toying around with like the Stone Cold idea. He didn't call himself Stone Cold. He would come out to Jesus Christ Superstar. The shit was fucking hilarious. And he would talk shit on the mic to the wrestlers that were in the ring. He would walk in the ring and be, just say example, a tag team match. He would, all of a sudden the match was about to start, and all of a sudden you would hear his theme, and he would come down to the ring and talk shit to every single wrestler that was in the ring. And it was comical. It was fun because Paul Heyman gave him full, complete control of what to say or whatever he wanted to say.
The thing that fucking everybody liked about, like, they did not have to write anything for Stone Cold because he was his own writer. the shit that just came out his mouth, they were just like, fucking, he doesn't need a writer.
Yeah, he said it on his podcast one time where he said, when he walks in the building, don't walk up to him with a script. And also the thing about Vince used to fire writers.
Yeah.
And so what Stone Cold would do to save a writer's job was that if you came up to him with a script and he'll be like, Vince told you to give this to me, and he'll be like, yeah. So in order to save the writer from possibly getting fired, Stone Cold will take the script, go down to the office, and tear the shit up in Vince's face, saying, I'm not saying that shit.
Yeah, I remember seeing an interview with
He's not trying to be no puppet.
Jim Corman.
And he also
it was like with Jim Corman and someone else. Somebody else was there, but he was saying when Austin came out with that 316, that whole phrase that he came out, that Stone Cold Steve Austin just put,
scripted.
He was going to get fucking fired that day when he came back. They were going to fire him.
He saw how much money that shit made real quick.
Yeah, and then the next show that came out, everybody had 316 written, and they fucking let it roll
on their signs and shit. Yeah.
Yep.
And then it
I'll never forget that shit.
And then it became a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yep. And still one of the #1 sellers till today.
Absolutely.
I ain't gonna lie. One of my favorite lines when before Austin became Austin, when he was going after Hitman, he goes, "You put S in front of Hitman. That's exactly what I think of him."
Right.
Damn, that is crazy. Put that S in front of him.
How about when he was what really got me was when Hitman Hart was in the ambulance, and the guy was like, "I'll take it from here," and he freaking came out. He was a driver and started beating the shit out of him in the ambulance.
No, I like when Stone Cold Steve Austin showed up at the hospital with a mask and everything on to jump on Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon, yeah, that shit.
Hilarious.
And all that was a freestyle. Like all that was, like that the bedpan across the head, that wasn't part of the script, but it worked. Especially when it made the noise when he clocked them upside, it went doing.
or like him and Booker T.
Yeah, in the store.
Oh, that shit is classic.
You know they used to spend money because you fucked up that store.
Yeah,
Can you imagine just being a shopper and don't know wrestling like that? And you're like, what the fuck is going on here?
That's great.
Everybody's looking at each other going, "You gonna stop it? Fuck you, look at the size of the motherfuckers." You stop that shit.
Like, I'm okay, thank you.
And then also, people might have thought it was a movie because you do see the cameraman, if you're a shopper. So they'd be like, oh, this must be a movie or something, because what the hell is going on here?
Or when Stone Cold came back from being the Vince McMahon's little puppet boy.
Yeah.
And Vince McMahon tried to, says, "I want the old Stone Cold back," and to save WCW or
WWE from WCW. Yeah.
Right. Then he came back and
the invasion.
Yeah. Those were fucking masterful too, in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
They used to go to each other's locker rooms and shit and beat the crap out of each other, even the women.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Triple H show up to Randy Orton's house one time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That show did.
We got 5 minutes left, gentlemen. 5 minutes.
I think it was Stephanie was like watching TV or something, and he was outside the window.
Fuck that! Remember when Stone Cold showed up to Brian Pillman's house.
Brian Pillman's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember that.
Boy, he.
He pulled a gun out on Stone Cold.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. And they actually had to pull that. They had to pull that. I don't think you can even find that anymore. Not even on the WWE Network. I don't even think they. I think they actually pulled that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
The
Well, you
only
think
way
it
you
went
can
too
find
far
that
with
is
it?
if somebody recorded it on a VHS.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. Yeah, because of yeah. Mm.
Well,
Stuff like that nature.
the
Anything
only
with
guy
Swiss
that would
Army
freak,
on it. Shit.
I might
the
have
only
it.
guy that would really freak my shit was that fucking. What's his? I can never remember his name. Lucador or some shit. He's with Ray Riot now. He was the blonde guy that stared.
Oh, you talking about
Like psych.
right now he got dreadlocks in his hair right now, right?
Oh, Dexter Loomis.
Dexter.
Dexter
Mm.
Loomis, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I saw him outside, I'd fucking shit my fucking drawers.
Hey man, but you know,
like straight up.
that's what I wanted to
Man,
bring up. That's what I wanted to ask about them. Like they don't get used as much. Like
No.
they don't have nothing for them. Like they showed up a couple of weeks ago because it was Bray's birthday, and all of a sudden, like they showed up a week after that, and then now we don't see you guys no more.
Well,
And
they got a tag match next week, luckily. But yeah, you're right. Like they don't have really much for them.
and you know what I noticed? Like that Dexter Loomis guy, he's real bad in the ring, bro. If you pay attention to him, he's sloppy. Like when he dropped that leg drop off the rope, he landed on the dude's head. Like he is, and you can immediately tell he went to check on the dude to see if he was okay.
You know, he fucked up.
Yeah, like damn, bro. Like I think this is why these people get fired multiple times because they fire you, you come back as a different character and all this other stuff. But I mean, this is why. I mean, you got to go back to that performance center or something, bro, because it ain't working.
well,
But you
that's
gonna
like
sit up there and tell me you don't have nothing for Joe Gacy? What's the girl?
Right.
The girl too. Her. The
What
girl.
about what about Dexter's wife? Annie married to the lady wrestler from Australia.
She part of
What's
the
her
group.
name?
That's what I'm talking about. She was with
What's her? Doggone it! What's her
what
name?
is her name?
Stephanie?
No.
No, it's not Stephanie. Good, because I can't think of her name.
Cross? Is there a cross in it?
Nah.
Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross.
No, that's
what
not
I'm thinking of.
that's not Dexter's wife.
Oh, you talking about on the girl who went to I know who you talking about. She ain't there no more. She was fired last year or something like that.
Okay, that's okay. But you know
Yeah,
what I'm talking about.
Yeah. She was because she was in a tag team with Gargano's
Indy.
wife.
I think her name is Indy something.
Yeah, Indy Hartwell.
Oh, Indy Hartwell. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Indy Hartwell. Yeah, she
Yeah.
I think she just won a championship in some smaller promotion she's at now.
HOG, Hog and Hog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she they ain't know what to do with her either. Like they moved her up from NXT and well, no, you know what? Remember they tried to give her a run and she got injured.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Damn, I'm gone.
She was
All right,
wearing a knee
guys.
brace. Okay.
All right, guys, we're about to wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Em, where'd you go?
He came and went, bro.
Yeah, EM was up here for a minute.
I guess
was he?
because
Who
we
was
were
it?
talking about Austin from Texas. You know, he's from Texas, so
Yeah.
But we will definitely be doing this again in 2 weeks. It's always a pleasure having you guys come up and join us, man. Thank you guys for coming up and joining us. Thanks to everybody that joined us in the comments. And yeah, Shake, we'll be doing this in 2 weeks' time, correct?
yeah, for sure. 2 weeks, yeah, and we're working.
Yeah.
We're gonna be on. El Capitan. He's doing bigger. You know, he has a big vision, and he's creating something called the Fans Tailgate Network, which is kind of like the Round Table Sports. where it's about fandom. So we're eventually. Hey, Miss Fans, appreciate you. We're
What's going on? What's
Thank
going on, Miss
you.
Fan?
we're eventually gonna get our own channel on the Fans Tell Network. So yeah, so we're gonna do definitely big things on that channel. So
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Okay.
See you guys in 2 weeks, man. It's a pleasure talking with y'all.
Yes, sir.
Everybody have a great
All right.
day.
Talk
yeah,
to you
and
later.
I tell you what, real quick, shout out to the people who are participating and who are watching. The more we watch, the more you participate, the bigger this channel is
Hit
gonna
that-
get. You know what I'm saying?
Hit that like too.
Yeah, hit
Yeah.
the like, man.
Definitely.
Subscribe and support.
So before we do go, I'm gonna end it with this commercial because obviously this will now be called Chef Juice Catering Wrestling Talk. So here we go. Oh, Wrestling Report. That sounds better.
There
Chef
you
Juice
go.
Wrestling Report. So see you in 2 weeks.
Right.
What's up, y'all? This is Chef Jew. Looking for a great chef for your next catering party, private party, office party, etc. with welcome watering meals and desserts. Let Chef Jew Catering and Sweet Treats take care of it for you at an affordable price. Call me at 786-804-8096. Also reach me at chefjewcatering@gmail.com. Direct message on Facebook and Instagram at Chef Juice Catering. Chef Juice Catering and Sweet Treats, food with a passion. We do it all.